Hello everybody and welcome back to A Royal Reader. My name is Cici and today we are going to be discussing my anticipated releases for 2023. So I don't have a lot on this list, and a few of them I don't actually know the release dates for, but nonetheless I figured we could go through some of the ones that I'm excited for. There's not very many on this list because, like I said in the past couple of videos, I have not really been involved with the booktube community as of such because of just how bad my last year went. But nonetheless, let us get involved with these books. I also do want to just talk about the fact that yes, I did cut all of my hair off. Yeah, I now have extremely short hair, but I am enjoying it. Also, do just want to apologize if you can hear the fan in the background. I'm trying my best to deal with it, but unfortunately it is just too hot to go without it, so I hope you can hear me. I am talking louder than normal, and I've got a mic on my phone recording me, so hopefully that makes things a bit better. But nonetheless, let us get into it. These are going to be in separate orders because I don't really know when things are going to be released. So let's just get into it. So the first book that I have on this list is The Invocations by Crystal Sutherland. She is the author who has written The House of Hollow, which I still haven't read this book yet, but I am planning on it because it just sounds incredible. But nonetheless, this is also another sort of spooky, seductive, witchy thriller where both men and demons lurk in shadows and girls refuse to go quietly into the night. Is a young adult fantasy. We've got like horror and murder mystery elements involved, I think. So the synopsis for this one says, Zara Jones believes in magic because the alternative is too painful to bear, that her sister was murdered by a serial killer and there is precisely nothing she can do to change it. If there's anything Zara cannot stand, it's feeling powerless. So she decides she will do whatever it takes, even if it means partaking in the occult to bring her sister back from the dead. Jude Wolfe might be the daughter of a billionaire, but she is also undeniably cursed. After a deal with the demon went horribly wrong, her soul is now slowly turning necrotic. Flowers and insects die in her wake, and monstrous things come to taunt her at night. If Jude can't find the right someone to fix her mistake, she fears she'll die very soon. Enter Emma Brown, the solution to both Zara and Jude's predicament. The daughter of a witch, Emma sells spells to women in desperate situations, willing to sacrifice a part of their soul in exchange for a bit of power, a bit of magic to change their lives. But Emma has a dark past all her own, and as her former clients are murdered one by one, she knows it's followed her all the way to London. As Jude and Zara enter Emma's orbit, they'll have to team up to stop the killer before they each end up next on his list. It sounds so incredibly spooky. The vibes are there 110%, and I am super excited to pick this one up. So on Goodreads, it says that the expected publication date is June the 27th. So the next one that I have on my list is Cursed Crowns by Catherine Doyle and Catherine Weber. This is the second book in the Twin Crowns duology. So this one, we have two main characters. We have Rose and Wren. They are twin sisters, and when they were born, Wren was taken by the witches and brought up as a witch, and Rose was left in the palace, brought up as a princess. One day, Wren decides that she's going to basically kidnap her sister and swap themselves so that she can make sure that the witches are able to live their lives again. The princesses have been born, the witches have been ostracized and sort of almost executed every single time somebody is sort of accused as being a witch. So Wren wants to try and change that with the time of the princess's coronation. So that's basically what the plot of the first series, the first book in this series is, and the second one obviously follows the events of that book, basically. The cover for this is super beautiful, and Goodreads says that it's going to be published on April the 27th. Super excited for this. It was just a really fun YA book, and I really loved the sister dynamics of this one, so I'm really excited. Next we have on this list is one that probably everyone is going to have on their list, and that is Silverborn by Jessica Townsend. This is the fourth book in the Morrigan Crow series. The Morrigan Crow series is a middle grade where we have our main character, Morrigan Crow, who has been living her entire life being told that she is a cursed child and that on her 12th birthday, I think it is, she will die. On the eve of her birthday, she is whisked away to the magical land of Nevermore by a mysterious and wonderful eccentric man called Jupiter North, and he enlists her into the Wondrous Society where she can learn how to control her gifts, and she learns more about herself that she didn't think was even possible, and she makes friends, and it is such a wonderful, wholesome series. If you enjoy reading middle grade, I definitely recommend you pick this one up. I like this one better than the Amari and the Night Brother series. I just felt that the Amari one was a little bit too much like Morrigan Crow, so I enjoy this one a lot better. So this one is meant to be coming out on September the 27th. It was originally supposed to be released back in 2020, but the author did decide to push it back, so this is the new release date, so hopefully we do get it. I have not read the third book in the series, but I am planning on doing that this year, so I am so hyped for this book. I love this series so much. So much. The next book on this list is a ending to a duology. So we have The Ashes and The Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. So this is the second book in the Crowns of Nyaxia series. I read the first one just, I think, a couple of weeks ago, back in December, and that one is called Serpent and the Wings of Night series. So this is a fantasy romance involving vampires. This is very much like a vampire Hunger Games sort of book where we've got our main character, Araya. She sort of enters into these trials, and she is the only human in these trials, and the rest are all vampires. So she teams up with the unlikely roguish vampire called Rain, and this is just incredible. I really enjoyed the series. Everybody has been saying that Carissa Broadbent is very similar to Sarah J. Maas, and I definitely can say that I agree with this. It gives me the same vibes that Sarah J. Maas does, and I am really enjoying this. And the first book ended on a cliffhanger, so I'm super excited for this one. Can't wait to see what the cover is going to look like. On Goodreads and on Amazon, it says that the release date is not yet defined, so the soft release date that they have for this one is March the 13th. Super excited for this one, cannot wait. Next on my list is one by one of the authors that I have been reading a couple of books from, and that is Claire Legrand. So she's coming out with A Crown of Ivy and Glass. So this is a new fantasy where we have... So this is a new book in a trilogy. So we have our main character, Lady Emma Ashbourne, and she is a young, gorgeous, and rich young lady. Her family was anointed by the gods and blessed with incredible abilities, but underneath her glittering facade, Gemma is deeply sad. Years ago, her sister Mara was taken to the Middle Mist to guard against treacherous magic. Her mother abandoned the family, her father and elder sister Farron embroiled in a deep and deadly blood feud with the mysterious Basque family. Often forget that Gemma exists. Worst of all, Gemma is the only Ashbourne to possess no magic. Instead, her body fights it like poison. Constantly ill and aching with loneliness, Gemma craves love and yearns to belong. Then she meets the devastatingly handsome Talon D'Aster? Oh gosh. His family destroyed themselves, seduced by a demon, and Talon, the only survivor, is determined to redeem their honor. Intrigued and enchanted, Gemma proposes a bargain. She'll help Talon navigate high society if he helps her destroy the Basques. According to popular legend, a demon called the Man with the Three-Eyed Crown is behind the family's blood feud. slay the demon, end the feud. But attacks on the Middle Mist are increasing. The plot against the Basques quickly spirals out of control, and something immense and terrifying is awakening in Gemma, drawing her in a I don't know how to say that word. Drawing her towards Talon in an all-consuming passion that could destroy her or show her the true strength of her power at last. It sounds like every sort of classic YA that's out there, but I am still super, super excited for this. Claire LeGrand has written a couple of books that I have enjoyed, like the Furyborn trilogy, so I'm super excited for this one. The release date for this is said to be May the 9th. So next on this list, we have a book by Jennifer Saint. So she is the author who has been doing a lot of the Greek myth retellings, focusing on the woman's perspective. So we had Ariadne and Electra. So her new one is going to be Atalanta. I've probably butchered that. But we have the reimagining of the myth of Atalanta, a fierce huntress raised by bears, and the only woman in the world's most famous band of heroes, the Argonaut princess, warrior, lover, and hero. Oh, I think I read that. Okay, I read that wrong. So she is the only woman in the world's most famous band of hero, the Argonauts. That's how that was meant to be read. When Princess Atalanta is born, a daughter rather than the son her parents hoped for, she is left on a mountainside to die, as do all people when they are born to Greek parents, back in ancient times. But even then, she is a survivor. Raised by a mother bear under the protective eye of the goddess Artemis, Atalanta grows up wild and free with just one condition: if she marries Artemis warns it will be her undoing. Although she loves her beautiful forest home, Atalanta yearns for adventure. When Artemis offers her the chance to fight in her name alongside the Argonauts, the fiercest band of warriors the world has ever seen, Atalanta seizes it. The Argonauts' quest for the Golden Fleece is filled with the impossible challenge, but Atalanta proves herself equal to the men she fights alongside. As she is swept into a passionate affair in the defiance of Artemis's warning, she begins to question the goddess's true intentions. Can Atalanta carve out her own legendary place in the world of men, while staying true to her heart? Full of passion, joy, and adventure, Atalanta is the story of a woman who refuses to be contained. Yes. 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 I love stories where it shows that, you can still be a badass woman and still be, still in love and still have love and things like that. I love that. So I'm super, super excited for this one. The release date for this is set to be April 13th. Next, along the same vein, we've got another Greek myth retelling. So this is Sarah Underwood's Lies We Sing It to the Sea. Okay, yeah, so I think this is Sapphic, and this is sort of a retelling, reimagined, where we've got Penelope, I think, and so Penelope is the wife of Asidius from, obviously, the Odyssey. So in the Odyssey, Penelope has 12 maids, and when Odysseus comes back from his trials and tribulations, basically, they hang all of the 12 maids because they believe that they're conspiring against him, and it's a whole big thing. I actually did a course on it when I was at uni, and it was really, really interesting and really incredible. But this one, each spring Ithaca condemns 12 maidens to the noose. This is the price vengeful Poseidon demands for the lives of Queen Penelope's 12 maids, hanged and cast into the depths centuries ago. But when that fate comes for Leto, death is not what she thought it would be. Instead, she wakes on a mysterious island and meets a girl with green eyes and the power to command the sea. A girl named Melantho, who says one more death can stop 1,000. The prince of Ithaca must die, or the tides of fate will drown them. Sarah Underwood weaves an epic tapestry of lies, love, and tragedy, perfect for fans of Madeline Miller, Alexandra Bracken, and Renee Ahdieh. Oh. So I've just read a couple of the reviews on it, but looks like the author actually hasn't read the Odyssey. Well, either way, it'll be good to see the differences, and oh my gosh, how could you write a story without actually reading it? So the next one on the list is The Witch King by Martha Wells. So Martha Wells is a really well-known science fiction author. So she wrote the Murderbot Diaries, which is like short stories about a robot that was sort of sent to help humans and acts the way it's not supposed to act, I think. I enjoyed the first one that I listened to on audio. So this one is going to be her debut into, I think, fantasy. I could possibly be wrong. After being murdered, okay, wow. After being murdered, his consciousness dormant and unaware of the passing of time while confined in an elaborate water trap, Kai wakes to find a lesser mage attempting to harness Kai's magic to his own advantage. That was never going to end well. But why was Kai imprisoned in the first place? What has changed in the world since his assassination? And why does the Rising World Coalition appear to be growing in influence? Kai will need to pull his allies close and draw on all his pain magic if he is to answer even the least of these questions. He is not going to like the answers. That just sounds really, really cool. So this one is meant to be released on May the 30th. So I'm interested to pick this one up. So we've got 3 more books to go. So the next one is A Ruinous Fate by Kaylee Smith. So this one is another like fantasy romance. Fate does not choose the weak. Fate chooses the ready. Calliope Rosewood is a witch with a long streak of bad luck. Like all witches in Illustrious, her fate is directly tied to witches' dice, powerful artifacts that have blessed her kind with limitless magic, but also set them on a path towards destruction. Cursed with unspeakable powers that terrify even the most dangerous witches and fae, Callie deserts her own coven 4 years ago and has been in hiding with 2 of her best friends since. But Calla is also hiding a grave secret. She is only 3 roles away from becoming the last blood warrior and starting the final war that will decimate her people and eradicate their magic. After a betrayal from her ex leads her one step closer to fulfilling the age-old prophecy, Calla is desperate to do whatever it takes to reset her fate, even if it means journeying into the deadly, never-ending forest with said ex and his enticing yet enigmatic older brother to find the one being who can help her forge her own path. As Calla ventures further into the enchanted woods, she finds her heart torn between her past desires and the alluring new possibilities of her future, and learns that choosing your own destiny may come with deadly consequences. This just sounds incredible, and the cover is really, really pretty. So this is meant to be apparently it's already published. So this was published on the 3rd of January. So definitely need to have a look into getting that one. It just sounds incredible, and I am super, super excited for that one. It just sounds amazing. Absolutely amazing. So next one we've got is Roshani Choshki's new book. And this one sounds like it is a sort of fantasy murder not like murder mystery, but like a fantasy where we've got like mysterious elements. So this one is called The Last Tale of the Flower Bride. So in this we've got a sumptuous gothic infused story about a marriage that is unraveled by dark secrets, a friendship cursed to end in tragedy, and the danger of believing in fairy tales. So this is her first time writing adult. Once upon a time, a man who believed in fairy tales married a beautiful, mysterious woman by the name of Indigo. I said that weirdly. Indigo Maxwell Castaneda. He was a scholar of myths. She was an heiress to a fortune. They exchanged gifts and stories and believed they would live happily ever after, and in exchange for her love, Indigo extracted a promise that her bridegroom would never pry into her past. But when Indigo learns that her estranged aunt is dying and the couple is forced to return to her childhood home, the House of Dreams, the bridegroom will soon find himself unable to resist. For within the crumbling manor's extravagant rooms and musty halls, there lurks the shadow of another girl, Azure, Indigo's dearest childhood friend who suddenly disappeared. As the house slowly reveals his wife's secrets, the bridegroom will be forced to choose between reality and fantasy, even if doing so threatens to destroy their marriage or their lives. This sounds incredible and I am excited. So this is meant to be released on February the 14th. Perfect book for Valentine's Day. So this next one on the list is actually one that I saw on Instagram. So this is called The Phoenix King by Aparana Viama. I think I've definitely butchered that. I'm so sorry. So this one is a fantasy where we've got, I think this is, yep, so it's young adult fantasy. In a kingdom where flames hold magic and the desert hides secrets, an ancient prophecy comes for an assassin, a princess, and a king. But none are ready to face destiny, and the choices they make could burn the world. If we carry the burdens of our fathers, we'll never know what it means to be free. For Elena Aya Ravenance, the fire is yearning. She longs to feel worthy of her phoenix god, of her ancestors who transformed the barren dunes of Sion into a thriving kingdom. But though she knows the ways and wiles of the desert better than she knows her own skin, the secrets of the internal flame elude her, and without them she'll never be accepted as queen. For Leo Malhara Reverence, fire is control. He is not ready to give up his crown. There is still too much work to be done to ensure his legacy remains untarnished and his family protected. But power comes with a price, and he'll wage war with the heavens themselves to keep it from paying. For Yasin Knight, fire is redemption. He dreams of shedding his past as one of Sion's most deadly assassins, of laying to rest the ghost of those he has lost. If joining the court of flame and serving the royal Ravenance family, the very people he once swore to eliminate, he will earn that. Will earn him that. And he'll do it no matter what they ask him. But the phoenix watches over all, and the fire has a will of its own. It will come for all three, it will come for Sion itself. And they must either find a way to withstand the blaze or burn to ash. Yes, please. And the fact that it's written by a PSC author is incredible, and I am super excited. So this one has a release date of August the 29th, so I'm super excited for this one. So my last book that I have on this list so far is one that I found on Instagram, and this is called What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez, I think. So this is the author who wrote Woven in Moonlight. So this is a historical fantasy duology set in 19th century Egypt, described as part Death in the Nile, part The Mummy, in which Bolivian, Argentinian Inez Oliveira investigate her parents' death while contending with her mysterious new guardian and his infuriatingly handsome assistant who guards the one secret that only magic can reveal. I saw a picture of fan art that the author had created, and it just looks incredible, and let me tell you, The Mummy was an awakening for me as a child. I watched that and I was immediately invested in becoming a historian, focusing on like ancient cultures like ancient Greek and Egyptian and things like that. I have been desperately dying for books that are in the same vein as The Mummy. So the fact that this book is going to be published and it's similar to The Mummy, I'm so excited. You have no idea. I don't know if this one has a release date as of yet, but I am super excited for it nonetheless. So those are all the books that I have on my anticipated releases list. This is just from what I know that are going to be released soon anyway. So if you guys do have any other books, then please do leave them down below in the comments. I would love to see them and add them onto my list. Obviously, a lot more books are going to be announced within the next couple of months, and so I'll probably do another one of these probably mid-year, I want to say. And obviously there are just some books on here that, you know, are like obvious choices like Crescent City #3 or the Akatar Book 5, you know, if they're going to be released next year, they're definitely going to be, you know, on this list anyway. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Do give it a thumbs up if you did, and let me know what your thoughts were down below in the comments. If you guys would like to stay in touch with me, then do be sure to 1, hit that subscribe button, and 2, check out the links I have in the description box. They are for my Twitter and Instagram. I am trying to be more active over on there, so do be sure to check those out so you can stay up to date with me. And yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys soon with another video.